Hello students, welcome to the second part of the chapter, the leaf of class 6. Today we are going to discuss about the functions of the leaf, the modifications of the leaf and vegetative propagation by leaves. So let us begin. Starting with the functions of a leaf. If you remember, in my last video I had told you about how a leaf is green in color and it contains chloroplast, the pigment, chlorophyll inside it, and it helps in the manufacture of food. So actually you all might have heard the name photosynthesis. So this manufacturing of food by the green leaves and using carbon dioxide, water in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll, which gives glucose and oxygen. This process is called as photosynthesis, and this glucose is used by the plant as a food for itself, and this oxygen, some of it is used by the plant itself for respiration, but most of it is given out as a waste material. So the oxygen given by the plants help us in respiration. So you might have heard that we should plant more trees. So this is the reason, because plants give us oxygen as a byproduct of the process of photosynthesis. Also it is manufacturing food for itself, because how does it prepare food for itself? Because it contains the green pigment chlorophyll, which helps it to do photosynthesis, which in turn produces glucose and oxygen. The second function of a leaf is gaseous exchange. You know, there are many minute pores in the leaf which are called the stomata. They are generally found on the lower surface of the leaf, and during the daytime they open up, and these stomatas, they are helping in the gaseous exchange. Now you know that the plant needs carbon dioxide for photosynthesis. It also needs oxygen for respiration. But the gaseous exchange generally during the daytime is, it takes in more carbon dioxide to give more oxygen to us. So this gaseous exchange is happening through the stomata. If I just show you a rough diagram, it looks something like this. Bean-shaped, kidney-shaped cells are there. So this gap in between them, the pore, is known as a stomata. And then the third function of the leaves is transpiration. The transpiration is the process by which the excess water which is taken up by the plants, that is released in the air in the form of water vapor, and that is again happening through the pore stomata. So transpiration is another function of the leaf. It is giving out excess water which it has absorbed by its roots in the form of water vapor. So what are the functions of a leaf? It is helping in manufacture of food. It is helping in the gaseous exchange, as I told you, taking in oxygen, taking in carbon dioxide, giving out oxygen, and so on. And it helps in the process of transpiration. Next we will understand about modification of leaves. As you can see that we are going to read about modification of leaves based on certain points, like formation of tendril. So what is a tendril? A tendril is a thin thread-like structure which is actually a modification of the leaf. So when the leaf modifies into thin thread-like structure which helps in coiling and giving support to the plant and to the weak stems, like you might have seen in the case of the pea plant and the grapes, those thread-like structures are called the tendril. And next one is the spines. What is the main role of the spines? These are the leaf again which is modified into pointed structures which are called the spines. They are generally found in cactus and rose. And what is the main role it does? It helps to reduce the water loss by transpiration, because like in cactus and all, you might have seen that the leaves are only getting modified into stems, so there is no loss of water because the spines won't lose water. And then also it is helping to protect the plant from the grazing animal, like you might have seen rose. Never a rose plant is eaten by a cow or a goat because it contains the spines. So it is preventing the plants being eaten up by the grazing animals and also helps in reducing the water loss. Next is the scale leaves. What are the scale leaves? Now these are again the leaves which are modified into the special leaves called the scale leaves to protect the bud. The bud is the unbloomed flower, you can see, which is generally inside the scales. It has been protected, and also they are storing food and water. So you might have seen the onion. So in onion you are having thick and fleshy scales. If you have seen an onion, you know that if you open it up, you will see many scales are there and there is a bud inside them. So these are the scales. They are thick and fleshy. And if you have seen a ginger, you know that the scales are very thin and dry. The outer part is very thin and dry, and those are the scales of ginger. What is the role of the scale leaves? They are protecting the bud, and also they are storing food and water. Next we go to the part that is insectivorous plants. Now, as the name suggests, insectivorous, these are the plants which eat up the insects. So they are insectivorous or the carnivorous plants. So the first example is pitcher plant. Somewhat looks like this. There is a lid-like structure on it, and also it is actually it's the leaf which has been modified into a pitcher-shaped plant or a leaf, you can say, and it is having an extension at the leaf apex that is forming the lid. Also the petiole is like a tendril, and as the insect will sit here, automatically what will happen is the lid will close, and as the lid closes, the insect gets digested by the juices which is released by the leaf. So this is the pitcher plant. Similar thing happens with bladderwort. They are also having highly segmented plants there, and the leaves are highly segmented. Some of the segments are modified to form a small bladder-like structures, and these bladder-like structures, they are acting as a trap door. So as soon as the insect sits in them, it closes and it gets digested there. The organism cannot exit out from the bladders of this bladderwort plant. And then also we have the Venus flytrap. The edges of these, as you can see, this is somewhat how it looks. There is a midrib, and the edges of the leaves are having some hair-like structures, and again they are very sensitive. So as soon as the insect sits, here there are some nectar, and then as soon as the insect sits on them, the insect comes in contact, the leaf will just shut or close, and then it will release some juices which will make the insect digest there. So these plants, as you can see, they are they are like digesting the insect. So that is why they are known as insectivorous plants. They generally do so to like protect themselves, you can say, also to get the food or some nutrients from the insects. Then we go to the last part, that is the vegetative propagation of leaf or by leaf, as we can say, and this is a simple bryophyllum leaf. Also begonia, there is another plant through the leaves of which you can see that small leaflet-like structure, plantlets are arising from the parts of the leaf. So what is first vegetative propagation? You might have seen that some plants, they don't have seeds, or the seeds don't produce plants from them. They are not very good quality, or they don't have the ability to produce the plant. So for those plants, some vegetative parts like the root, stem and the leaf, they act as a source for the new plant generation. So when a new plant grows from a vegetative part of a plant like root, stem, leaf, then we are calling it vegetative propagation. And for vegetative propagation by leaf, we are talking about bryophyllum. In the notches of the leaf, these are the notches, you can see like this curves are there. So in these notches, each of the notches, you will see that the plants, small plantlets or adventitious buds start arising, and after some time, if this leaf falls on a soil on the ground, the buds will develop into the new plantlets, and they can easily separate from the plant and grow as an individual plant then. So through the leaf you can see that the plant is arising. So it is therefore known as vegetative propagation of leaf. Now with this we come up to the end of this chapter leaf. I am very sure by seeing my first and the second part you will be able to understand the full concept or full syllabus related to the ICSE class 6. I would like you to give me more likes and comments and tell me what you liked in the video or what you did not like or what improvement can be done. Thank you for listening.